How's it going, guys? I'm here to review Leprechaun in the Hood 2000.
喂，别跟我躲，不敢呐！
Leprechaun in the Hood once again stars Warwick Davis as Leprechaun, and it stars Ice-T, the rapper and punk rock musician. So the plot for this movie begins in the 1970s. A flashback. Ice-T is a pimp, and he has a partner with him. They're looking for a magical golden flute, so they're breaking down walls, and voila, they see the statue of the leprechaun, and it has the gold chain around him, just like in Leprechaun 3 2 reviews ago, that same chain can keep him in stone. So of course, they find the gold too. Ice-T takes the flute. That's all he wants. And then of course his partner takes the gold chain off of the leprechaun, and he's alive. The leprechaun kills Ice-T's partner, and Ice-T's character's name is Mac Daddy, so I should call him Mac Daddy. Leprechaun's about to kill Mac Daddy. Of course, Mac Daddy falls back, and the pipe hits the leprechaun. He falls back, and while the chain's flowing in the air, flying, the chain eventually lands on the leprechaun around his neck somehow, and he turns to stone again. And Mac Daddy's just like, haha, victory. I'll take my golden flute, and I'll take the gold, and I'll take you as a souvenir. And it cuts back to like 30 years later in the year 2000s. When this movie took place, it was the present time, so 2000. You have three characters in this movie. I'm sorry, I forgot their names because I'm being honest. Most of the time, these leprechaun characters are protagonists. They're just kind of forgettable most of the time, but it is what it is. So these rappers, so-called rappers, they're trying to go to Vegas and trying to like win this contest and trying to go sign it with a record label, like a deal. But the problem is they're just not good. They keep messing up, and then they keep messing up the stage. They keep going to pawn shops, see what they can sell, and trying to scam people. And then, of course, they see Mac Daddy just rolling up in a limo. He was just like, all right, fool, I'll give you guys a chance. Do not waste my time, because I guess he's the head of the gangsta rap record label. But these characters, they rap about positivity, which Mac Daddy does not like. He literally smashes their tape while he was listening to it, and he was just like, what is this shit? I want some gangsta rap. I want some slapping ass. I want all that type of stuff. Shooting, drugs. And then they keep telling Mac Daddy that that's not them. We don't rap about that style. So, of course, Mac Daddy gets mad. He's just like, well, thank you for wasting my time. Get out. This is real, kid. Get out, get out. So he kicked all three of them out, and one of them gets mad. They're like, no, F that, man. We need to go rob his crib, so that way we can go to Vegas and go to the rap battles and blah, blah, blah. Of course, one of the characters disagreed, but he eventually agreed later on, and then they go to Mac Daddy's crib, take his gold. Of course, they take the necklace, in which the leprechaun comes back to life, and one of the main character takes the flute. So not only the leprechaun's chasing after them, but Mac Daddy's chasing after them. So you have like all the gangsters and the leprechaun himself chasing after the boys, and of course the leprechaun kills like side characters one by one.
Unhand me gold, you thieving hoods. You got more loot than Tiger Woods.
What the fuck is that? I don't know. Chuck your crack. Shoot that motherfucker.
And it's funny too, because Leprechaun in Leprechaun 2 and Leprechaun 4, he was a simp. Like, he was a big simp, trying to have like a wife, a bride, trying to save them and shit like that. But in this movie, he does not give a fuck. He is a pimp in this movie. He went from a simp to a pimp, and that's the way it goes, because Leprechaun is the real OG. So what did I think about this movie? This movie is amazing. It's a gem. I actually had a kick out of this. This is a fun sequel. It's probably, in my opinion, the best sequel in the Leprechaun franchise. Is it better than the original? No. No Leprechaun movie can ever beat the original with Jennifer Aniston. No way, because that's the most creepiest, and it's the most simplest plot. It's the one that has the most horror. So that one's the best. But if I had to talk about what's my favorite Leprechaun sequel, or what's the best Leprechaun sequel, I would have to go with this movie. So Leprechaun 3 is still my second favorite sequel, but my first favorite sequel of all time is this movie, In the Hood. And I just like how this movie, it's self-aware that it's a comedy, and they're trying to do like one of those like black like exploitation movies, But does it land 100%? Like, no. But it's still a kick-ass movie in my opinion. And oh my god, and after Leprechaun 4 in space, this is a kick-ass like comeback, because Leprechaun 4 in space was probably the worst one in the franchise in my opinion, the last movie. So this movie totally redeems itself, and it feels refreshing, it feels new. It just, I don't know, it just fits well. Leprechaun in the Hood, it's one of those ideas that like it's so weird, but at the same time it just fits, and I like this movie so much. It's just creative. Ice-T's performance is top notch. Warwick Davis's Leprechaun's performance always will be the best. The special effects in this movie, it's not that good, but it is better than pretty much most of the other sequels to special effects. There is gore in this movie, thankfully, and yeah.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Oh,
Gold who?
gold finger.
I don't know. I like the humor. I like the style it's going for. I just love this movie's aesthetic. I don't know. This movie is just different. And you know what would be cool? If they put this movie in a black and white filter, I think it will actually look really cool aesthetically. I don't know. It's just one of those films I'm like, you know what? It actually looks pretty fucking cool in black and white. I don't know. That's just a weird side thought.
Fuck you.
Only complaint in this movie is, yes, Leprechaun's in the movie, but I feel like in the screen time, he's only in this movie for like 15 to 20 minutes maybe, or maybe not even just that, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, he's still in this movie like here and there, but you can tell this movie was focusing on the three characters and their goal and then their passion. Of course, like, I feel like it's just a hood movie, but they throw in Leprechaun as a guest. That's what it feels like, even though it's advertised obviously as a Leprechaun sequel, but it just feels like an entirely like a hood movie, just featuring the Leprechaun, just focusing way too much on the actual characters more than the Leprechaun. That's just my opinion, but do I have a problem with it? No, because I like it. It kind of feels different. This movie has a lot of memorable scenes, like Leprechaun smoking weed with Ice-T, Leprechaun rapping, Leprechaun in the church with the boys. It's just funny. Like, there's a lot of memorable scenes in this movie, especially when the main characters are rapping. Like, in my opinion, these rap songs actually go hard. I mean, it's not the best or anything, but for an old school early 2000s rap R&B type of music, this is not that bad. Like, for a soundtrack.
They are weak. Jesus, give a shout out. Try to stay strong, cause we belong to the fold. We gone before long. Jesus loves me. I don't know. Jesus loves me. The hell if I know. If Jesus...
And not only just that, if you ask anyone if they've seen a Leprechaun movie, they might say yes, they might say no. But if you ask them if you remember Leprechaun in the Hood, which is this movie, then yeah, they're going to remember. Because I feel like everybody only remembers this movie in the franchise, Leprechaun in the Hood. I think most people have seen this movie instead. Like, if you compare it to all the other movies and sequels, like, I think this is the one that everybody remembers. But if I was going to rate this movie, I would rate this movie... You know what? I would rate this movie an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I know it's a shocker. I know it's really not a good movie to most people, but I don't give a crap. I like this movie. It's truly one of the unique, like, horror movies that I've seen. And plus, it's a damn refreshing sequel after In Space. Just saying. So, yeah, 8 out of 10. And that was my quick review of Leprechaun in the Hood 2000. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I come from the land of the Irish Spring. Dublin's the place where I learned my thing. From the Emerald Isle to your place in the hood, I'm the man of green, come to do no good. Lep in the hood, come to do no good. Lep in the hood, come to do no good.